This one's wild, but it's spreading pretty fast, and you know how we do it here. I don't want to hear a single complaining Caleb in the chat. In fact, I'm not going to reply to him anymore. That says, Smitty, this is fake news, looking for clicks. Why are you posting this? If you don't know why or when I go live by now, when things circulate, when they're out there enough for someone to be like in droves, Smitty, what are we doing with this information? Is there any truth to this? It's time to get in here and talk about it. Half the time during smoke season, we get in here and shoot it down. And that's probably what we're doing here tonight, because this is a ridiculous rumor that's spreading like wildfire. I've got numerous sources right here to present to you in 1 second. I appreciate everybody being in here. And you know what? I'm not going to address those Panic Peters and Angry Anguses. I'm going to let you guys in the chat go, hey, you must be new here. I'm going to let you guys explain to the people that say, fake news, why are we here? This isn't true. Why would you go live on this? I'm going to let you guys handle it. Be polite, but let them know what time it is. Saquon Barkley, in lots of conversations, as one of the top suitors to land, or the Patriots, one of the top suitors to land Saquon Barkley. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
This one is definitely one that I don't buy into, nor do I think it makes any sense at all. But you know what? You know what also doesn't make sense? Things like not a single team going after Lamar Jackson last year when he was franchise tagged and only cost two first rounders, two measly first rounders. That was logical to go get him, and 31 teams said no. We're not going to go get Lamar Jackson for 2 first round picks. Logic does not play into some of these scenarios. So as much as we want to play, GM in chief and act like we all make the decisions for these teams, we don't know if something like this could go down. But the reason we're here again, and I'm going to let you guys talk to the angry Anguses that say, why would you fake news? Not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. We know that. That's why we're here. But why we're here is because it seems to be spreading at a pretty rapid pace, and I want to shut it down, or at least tell you it should be shut down. It probably will be, but you never know. Again, you never know. Patriots are a primary suitor for Giants running back Saquon Barkley. The question is, primary suitor, what does primary suitor mean? There are other reports that came in and listed a bunch of teams. I believe this is the report right here. This says primary suitors for Pro Bowl running back Saquon Barkley are Patriots, Ravens, Raiders, Bears, Texans, Eagles. That is a number of sources coming from NYDN Sports, which I believe is the originator of this entire thing. Because if you go back and we try and piecemeal this together and connect the dots, this is the report that I was telling you about earlier. This is the one that I came across from a buddy's Patriot page that's posted with 4 others. You can see at the top on that black bar, 4 other Patriot pages with this one posting about this. Now, I am well connected to so many different fan pages for good reason, because fan pages, they're not fantasy football content creators. None of them really even, they probably play fantasy football, but they don't create fantasy football content. And I have a lot of DM. I have almost for absolutely have one for every single team in the entire National Football League, a group chat, but maybe I think 2 teams really. One, I have a couple buddies that I talk to, but I have, for the most part, for almost all 32 teams, I have a separate chat group with at least 2 to 7 people in it. One of them has like 10. And example would be my boys Raj, C-Mac, Vlad, and we all talk about Niner stuff all the time. So I'm very, very dialed into every team in different ways. And those guys are like extensions from beat writers. Those are not sources, but they feel the vibrations of an earthquake near home quicker than we're going to. And so I hear rumblings, and this is a perfect example of things that are kind of like starting to creep out. And when I saw this and I started to dig around and I started to piece together where it probably all came from, it came from this Pat Leonard guy, who I believe is if I'm looking right, is a podcaster, just, I don't think he's anything huge on this NYDN Sports podcast, whatever, that is a local Patriot, I believe, podcast. And so he listed off these teams as potential suitors. Then you have Patriot pages that see that, take it, omit all the other team names, and make it look like they're a primary suitor. Then people read the word primary, and then people say, oh, they're the number one. They're the number one. They're primary suitor for this entire list of teams right here, which might I remind you doesn't include like the Chargers, who are definitely a primary suitor. So this report doesn't even feel accurate. So this report springboarding off Pat Leonard's report that doesn't include the Chargers. Like, are you crazy? Are you really going to say that the landing spots don't include Dallas, the Chargers? Did I miss Dallas on this report? Did he write Dallas on this report? Bears, Raiders, Ravens, Patriots, Texans, and Eagles. Where's Dallas? Where's the Chargers? So I guess what I'm here to tell you is logic does not always play into things like this. Could he be a New England Patriot? Push come to shove, sure. I mean, again, Lamar Jackson was practically free when you consider what he brought to the table. Not one team, not one of the 31 teams came to the Ravens and said, we'll give you 2 arbitrary, meaningless first-round picks for a guy that could take us to a Super Bowl. No, nobody did. So do I really know what's going to happen? No. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Angry Angus in the chat going, this isn't going to happen. They got Ramondre Stevenson. They got bigger fish to fry. They need wide receivers. They're going to spend money on Saquon Barkley when you got Ramondre Stevenson, probably a top 6-7 running back still in my mind if he's fed properly. Stevenson's one of the bigger sleepers in fantasy football 2024, to be honest with you. I love Stevenson. But look, we don't know. We don't know. All I know is from piecemealing this together, it is Pat Leonard who went on this podcast, talked about these teams, left out Dallas, left out the Chargers, who I think are probably 2 of the top 5 candidates, and maybe they shoot it down, maybe they don't, but I don't think any of those have shot it down yet, those teams. He leaves out those, and then the Patriot pages are going to omit all the other names and say primary suitor for the Giants running back Saquon Barkley. That's where it all came from. I'm just letting you know that your boy's on top of it, okay? And I'm connected to my pals, and I know what's happening. I know what time it is for the most part. New York Daily News considers the Ravens to be among the primary suitors for Giants running back Saquon Barkley, alongside of Raiders, Eagles, Bears, and Patriots and Texans. So again, this is like spurring a whole bunch of different commentary and projection. Here's another report. Again, for anybody saying that this is fake news, whatever, it's not fake news, Steve, okay? Or Excel sheet Eric, or I'm going to wait until it happens, wait and see Willie. This is called digging into the weeds and finding what I just found to try and explain what we're looking at, but also at the same time telling you that anything could happen. You don't know. Sideline Steve over there commenting from the peanut gallery in my chat or in the comments doesn't know. He thinks he does. He thinks he knows what's best for everybody, including me, including my content. But this is important because look at how widespread it is inside New England Patriot circles, inside beat writer circles, inside New England Patriot podcast circles, inside Twitterville in terms of Patriot content. I'm not even done showing you all the reports that are spurring from what I believe to be this one man's report, Pat Leonard, who omitted the 2 of the top 5 landing spots in his report, meaning me saying probably not very reliable. This is NBC Sports Boston, with multiple elite running backs to consider in free agency should the Patriots go after Saquon Barkley. This is just a very big local show talking about Saquon Barkley in a whole different context. And maybe this was spurred up by the actual Pat Leonard report, right? And I'm not trying to rip on Pat Leonard at all. I'm just saying this came, I think, from this area right here. And maybe Pat Leonard's great. I have no idea who Pat Leonard is. Pat, if you're watching, call in and I'd be glad to talk about this with you. We love content like this. I'm not trying to rip on Pat at all. I'm just saying in his original, what appears to be, and I'm trying to piece it together. I don't fully know. It seems like two of the best landing spots weren't even in that conversation. But even this NBC Sports Boston team is talking about should the Patriots go after Saquon Barkley, and I don't know their answers to it. I don't really care. This one was Patriots potential suitor for free agent star Barkley, and then this final report here. There's so many of them. I stopped clipping them. There's like 10 others that I found. I just stopped clipping them. There's enough is enough. Patriots on scoreboard page. Patriots believed to be a potential suitor for Saquon Barkley. So you see how you notice the Patriot pages start to omit all the other names because it's a little bit, flashier news. I don't blame them. I don't think they're trying to be, in some cases, that deceptive, but it makes people feel like the thing that's being talked about is the Patriots are going after Saquon, when it's more of they're one of a handful. And I'm talking the 5 or 6 teams listed, plus the 2 omitted teams that I believe are the 2 probably best landing spots, the Dallas Cowboys and the LA Chargers, or at least 2 of the top 5 spots, and those aren't being talked about. So that's where it stands as of right now. You guys know my take. My take is this is ridiculous from a logical perspective. When you have so many other holes, you need wide receivers. And if for some reason you get Jaden Daniels here, which I don't think you will get Jaden Daniels, who might remind everybody watching is a Saturn man.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him live.
Spaceman.
So the whole point is I'm not sitting here going, hey, this is like the worst idea ever. But when you look at, this team has the 3 pick. They're probably, if they're smart, they're going after Fields for a 2nd rounder and a conditional pick, whatever it takes, and then they draft Marvin Harrison Jr. And at that rate, if you want to bring up Barkley, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. But if you're not going balls to the wall like that, and you're bringing in Jaden Daniels, and you sign Saquon Barkley, and you got Ramondre Stevenson, where are your wide receivers at? Could you still do it? Could you still bring in somebody like Ridley? Maybe, but are you as likely to bring in Ridley if you're spending money on Saquon Barkley? Probably not. Travis, I don't know if you're there to dial in terms of the cap, but we could research the Patriots cap real quick and figure out what the cap space looks like for the Patriots. Let me see. New England Patriot cap space 2024. It appears they're 101.8 million. The New England Patriots have 101.8 million in available cap space according to Over the Cap as of 3/4/2024. Patriots have the most salary cap space in the NFL as of the 4th. So that's pretty good. Actually, that's better than pretty good. That's number 1. It appears that the Patriots are number 1 in the NFL in available cap space. So let me go ahead and put that on the screen here real quickly. Travis is calling in right now. And Travis, I answered my own question, but I don't know if this is still accurate as of this moment, but $101.8 million. Buffalo Bills may have opened up more money today because they were cutting their entire team. But $101.8 million in available cap space, according to Over the Cap, is the number 1 available cap space in the entire National Football League. So from a logical / not logical / fairy tale perspective, if you did take, let's say, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and then you ended up, signing Ridley, and you got Saquon Barkley, and you got, Ramondre still there. I mean, you technically could do it. It wouldn't be that, and you'd have a pretty damn good team. You might be you might be the Houston Texans of 2024 because look what they did. They made it to a playoff game. They won a playoff game. They made it into the next round, and everybody's excited about the team. I mean, look, I think I could pull it off. I could bring in Barkley with Stevenson, bring in Ridley. I'd have the balls to do it. You tell me what you're hearing. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And have you heard a single thing about this Barkley thing?
I wasn't really listening to much of the radio today, but I'm sure they talked about it today. But before today, I hadn't heard much. Realistically, I would say it doesn't happen. Yeah. But one thing that I think will happen is that whether they're serious or not, you're going to hear their name attached to every big name guy. One, because they have the cash raise. They can technically sign anybody they want. Two, because it's the Boston and New England media, who is always, like the New York media, they just go crazy for stuff. And three, the Patriots themselves want to sign at least one big name guy because they need to make it a destination again. Because Tom Brady made it a destination, and the winning made it a destination. They don't have top-notch facilities. It's okay. They're in cold weather, not a dome. They have and obviously they were bad last year with new coaches, so they need big names to be attached to them. They need it to be a destination again. So
I will say, I believe
you'll hear rumors like that.
I will say, and I mean no offense to this, even though it's going to definitely come out offensive. The Patriot fans, to me, and this is going by what I see with my Patriot fan content creators and friends that I have in the Patriot space, they're very oblivious to the reality of the situation. Yep. And maybe that's more so than any other fan base I can find. I think the Niner fan base is very close. The Niner fan base is very close to being oblivious to the reality of the situation in some ways too, especially when things are going good though. Like they're almost the opposite. When things are going good, the Niner fan base has goggles on that are thicker than Coke bottles, and they think things are better than they are even, but only when they're good. When things are bad, the Niner fan base is very critical and objective. The Patriot fan base, it's the opposite. When things are going bad, they can't see straight. Like they don't know what's worse. They just go in the worst direction. I'll be talking to these guys, and I'll be like, and they were like excited about Stidham. They were excited about Mac Jones. Like, no offense, I know you're a Patriot fan. Mac Jones, he's gonna be so good. They're excited about this. They're excited about that. They're always willing to give other tries. They never hold anybody accountable. It's just like, let's stay positive and go into the next game. And it's like there's never any sense of I don't know, like I would say realism? Realism or like accountability for the organization or the it's always just like, I think you've been blessed so long, you're giving this blank check to your organization saying, I trust them. We got so much goodness for so long. I'm just going to sit back. Maybe it's a sense of not feeling selfish because you already got so much goodness that, you can weather through it for a while. I don't know what it is, but the Patriot fans, when things are bad, cannot see straight.
It's not that. I often get accused of not being a diehard fan because I try to look at things as realistic as possible. We're all a little biased in certain situations, and we all, if a certain player comes up, we all, that could happen. We want that to happen for the team that you root for. But I try to stay pretty realistic. And a few years ago, I started saying, I think it might be time to move on from Belichick. And, my friends or family or people around, I would say that too. That was like blasphemy.
Yeah, you were uninvited.
A year and a half later, they're like, we got to get rid of Belichick. And it's like, I told
it's like spilling the milk at Thanksgiving. Damn it, Travis. You bring it up at Thanksgiving. Well, I will say this. So again, let me repeat for everybody that missed it. And if you missed it, you really got to go back and rewatch because I can't really repeat all this. But there were several reports, and again, I'm very dialed in. I'm not saying I'm dialed in with sources everywhere. I'm not trying to deceive anybody in terms of thinking, Smitty is so connected to Schefter or anything like that. I am merely telling you that I have so many group messages with people that are in the local space that are going to feel the vibrations millimeters and seconds before I do. So that way I'm going to get shaken awake in the morning, at 7 a.m. by 10,000 text messages on something that's why I do what I do. Plus, I enjoy conversating and being friends with a whole bunch of different people in different spaces that are not fantasy related, because fantasy content creators don't interest me. I have no desire to mingle with anybody else. I don't, I'm in my own lane. I don't really care. When it comes to these other NFL creators, they have no, jurisdiction in my space, and I have none in theirs. And it's just a much more, easy relationship to have. And I like working with, I like posting stuff that they have, because it doesn't affect me at all. Not that I care, but I'm just merely saying, like, I have a lot of these connections, and I have fun with it, that are deep in the space. And some of them, like my boy Raj is the best example. Raj is the biggest Raj is the biggest team page in, I believe, all of NFL. Like, I don't think there's a team page that is bigger than Raj's page. It's a specific team page. Raj is so connected that, some of these groups I have, I can't even repeat some of the stuff I say, or that they say. Like, I literally have sat on stuff before, and I'm like, damn it, and I can't talk about it. It does come true, and there's just nothing I can do about it. But in this particular case, all I'm trying to tell you is there's no information on this. There's nothing anybody could have on this. And all I'm seeing, to be honest with you, are a little bit of overreactions from these Niner content creators. And I'm just being real. Like, and if any of them are watching, I'm not trying to be, negative to them or anything, but they're literally putting on some blinders, and they're taking reports like from this Pat Leonard, who spoke on the suitors, right? Spoke on the suitors, the potential suitors being Patriots, Ravens, Raiders, Bears, Texans, Eagles, and didn't even mention the Dallas Cowboys or the Los Angeles Chargers, I might say. And then the Patriot content creators leave off all those other team names and just say Patriots are a primary suitor. And then everyone's like, oh my God, did you hear the news that they're the primary number one suitor for the and that's where all this stemmed from. That's where it all stemmed from. I can almost guarantee it. But it's still news. It's still being talked about. You guys require me to come in here and tell you what I found, what I think. And so, and I'm going to stop responding to people that are like, why'd you go live on this? Or you're just looking for clicks. I'm going to go, get ready. Unfollow me, unsubscribe to my channel if that's how you feel about my content, whoever's watching right now. Because this is my goal and objective, is to come in here, and anytime something is widespread on any level, in my opinion and assessment, some of you DM me and say, this is widespread, go live. And I'm like, no, it's not widespread, bro. It's not enough wide. Like I hear there's everybody's saying something everywhere. I can't go live on everything. But when something's hitting a certain way, spreading like wildfire like this is, I'm going to go live and shoot it down, or I'm going to go live and verify it. I'm going to go live and tell you my thoughts regardless of whether we can verify anything at all, and tell you my prediction, because that's what I'm here for, to give you my assessment on everything I can possibly get my hands on. And that's the bottom line. So I would love for someone, if anybody says something, I would love for you guys to take care of it for me in a nice way, a nice way in the comments. But just let them know. If someone goes, hey, Smitty, yeah, this is fake news, I'm relying on you guys now as almost like co-moderators of the mods to just say, oh, you're new here, Stevie. Stevie, let me hold your hand and walk you over to the orientation. This is the channel. This is Smitty. There's Smitty. Don't look him in the eyes. He doesn't like when you look him in the eyes when he's live. Sit right here, and you just wait and watch the show, and then when you're done, raise your hand. If you have any questions, we'll answer them at the end of the show. Thanks, Perps. Appreciate you.
Hey, yeah. Smitty, I don't know if this guy in the chat, I won't read it out loud, but name starts with an E. I don't know if he's joking with you or being sarcastic, or if you want to deal with him or not.
What?
His initials are EA. I don't know if you can find it. It's one of the most recent. I didn't approve or hide the message either way, but. Sick Nasty just hit it. So.
What's his name?
Eric something. Eric Oferio.
I don't even see it, Eric.
Sick Nasty just hid the message actually. I didn't know if he was like being sarcastic with you.
What do you say? You can say it. What do you say?
All right. You're an idiot, Smitty. No wonder you can't get followers like your competitors. You're such an idiot. I assume that's a craft thing.
Yeah, you know.
I leave it to you to give people the complete boost.
Yeah, it's you know, that's typical. You know, that's typical stuff. Doesn't offend me. He didn't offend me. I mean, why watch?
No.
What wasn't it, Eric? Why watch, Eric? Excel sheet, Eric. Why watch? Go watch everybody else. Step behind. Go watch your step ahead content creators, Eric. Hope you have fun.
Excel sheet, Eric.
I don't even see his messages. Maybe
But I think it was just the first one, so it was just kind of out of nowhere. That's why I wasn't sure if like you knew him or not. So
no, I don't see it. Maybe did Sick Nasty? What'd you do? Zap him?
He hit it and he stuck him in timeout for 60 seconds. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. Eric, come back in and tell me how you really feel, Eric. I'm totally open door. Open door, Eric. Come in and fantasy explain me, because I definitely need that. I definitely haven't been doing this for very long, just since you were in diapers.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it.
No, I don't care. I could really care. It doesn't bother me. I'm merely telling my followers, and do it in a polite way. I don't want you guys to have I love that my chat's not aggressive. You know, I don't want my chat to turn aggressive. I'm not asking anybody to be aggressive to people and be like, hey, you know, get out of here. Like, don't worry about that. I like that everybody's kind. But I am going to say, hey, guys, why don't you take care of that for me so I don't have to waste my breath. And when somebody says, you know, why do you think we're here, Eric? I hope Eric comes back. I want to know what Eric wants. What is Eric's protocol for this kind of thing? Don't say anything. Sit on it. It's going around. It's spreading like wildfire, especially in New England Patriots circles. And I literally told you I don't think it has legs, and I told you why I think it's even spreading. Like, Eric, did you pay attention at all? Did you pay attention to me dissecting what I believe to have happened? Like, do you not understand what you're looking at or hearing or seeing? I don't get it, Eric. I don't get it. I would love to know.
Well, the thing is with the smoke season, it's like, what happens if 2 weeks from now he does sign with the Patriots? Then we've covered it. We've hit that angle.
Yeah, it's not Eric Ordonez, right? Eric Ordonez, poor Eric Ordonez.
No.
Poor guy.
No, he's good.
He came in and his name's Eric, and he's like, "Damn it!"
Good.
Everyone's like, "Eric, get out of here!"
He's Eric with a C. The other guy is Eric with a C.
Eric, you're good. Poor Eric. He's like, I just got off work, and everyone's like, "Get out of here, Eric!" Eric, you walked the line too close. You stared at the sun, Eric. You got too close to it, Ordonez. Get out of here. I don't know. Just
so if you had to pick I don't know, maybe some people in the chat have an idea too. If Saquon doesn't sign with one of those, most likely teams, is there like a sleeper team that you think would jump in and sign him that we're not thinking about right now?
Okay, so yeah.
I know he's probably going to go to one of these teams. It just makes too much sense.
Well, I think sleeper team
connected to Houston already,
a team not mentioned by those reports was Dallas. Dallas to me,
yeah.
Dallas and Houston feel like the best spots for him. I think the Baltimore Ravens too. Those are my okay. So if we're gonna go outside of that, could the Bengals, if they release Joe Mixon, be interested? Maybe. Do they feel like the kind of team that's gonna see the value in that? Probably not, but hopefully they do. Eckler could end up in Cincinnati because Eckler was a freaking hair away from being traded to Cincinnati last year. I have on great authority from a lot of the Bengal people I was talking about earlier, and the connection. I've very strong authority that Eckler was expecting himself to go there and wanting to go there. So Eckler, now that Eckler's free, you can bet your bottom dollar that will be one location he'll be looking into for sure. Now maybe it was his favorite of the possible suitors, and now that he gets to go wherever he wants, they're not included in that. That's certainly possible. But that is definitely a team I expect to get Eckler. But would they maybe go after Barkley? If he's $10 million a year, maybe. That's not crazy. And when you think about it, and again, I like going back to brackets and NFL drafts when we're talking about teams, just because it gives you such good perspective over what teams did, where their draft slot is, and in bracketology and all that. And you just say, look at this side of the bracket and just tell me, what do the Bengals got to do? They got to level up somewhere. And, I'm not in charge, but if it was me, I would 100% say to myself, what is a difference maker? And I go get him. And that difference maker would be Barkley. I think the same thing for the Ravens. I think the same thing for the Buffalo Bills, but the Bills, unfortunately, will not think this way. The KC Chiefs should be thinking this way with wide receivers. I don't care how good Rice could be. They should go after Hopkins. Hopkins could be a cap casualty. They should go after Ridley. Ravens should go after Henry, Barkley, Jacobs, and Ridley. They should sign both of them. Or one of the running backs and Ridley.
Yeah.
Houston should get Barkley or Henry or Jacobs without a hesitation.
For sure. Do you think Washington is going to spend money, or do you think they're looking to more build beyond through the draft and stuff like that?
I think they're willing to because of Peters, but Peters is a very good draft specialist, so a lot of it will come by way of draft, but it would not shock me in the slightest if they made some bold moves and felt they had the team to get it all done immediately because of what Stroud has done. Stroud has painted such an amazing picture for rookie quarterbacks, and I don't think he's an anomaly. I think maybe these quarterbacks won't get to Stroud's level, or at least one could get near Stroud and have that kind of rookie year, but I don't think multiple will. But multiple could be top 12. At least two quarterbacks from this rookie class could be top 12. But I think if let's say Jaden Daniels goes to Washington, he's got Dotson, who is a curious case for sure. I'm not giving up on him. He's of great value now. You don't have to pay anything to get him. McLaurin should have one more elite year. Ziggy, how old is Terry McLaurin?
Terry McLaurin is 28 years old and was born on September 15th, 1995.
Yeah, Ziggy off. He's still got 2 years. He turned 1 year. He turns 29 before the beginning of the year. So, and then our hold our breath 30-year-old season. So 29 and then 30. So he plays this year at 29, has one more year, 30. McLaurin is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated receivers in the National Football League. Oh. And we just kind of have written him off to be elite. We've kind of just said, he's good. Yeah, well, he's good, right? He's really good, but we all know he's good. But I think we all forgot that at one point we were kind of going, if this guy got a quarterback, he could be top 5. McLaurin's one of the best contested catchers in the National Football League, and I don't think anybody really remembers that. So if Jaden Daniels goes there and throws these footballs that he's used to throwing to elite receivers, and they bring in somebody like Saquon Barkley in Washington, then they could contend right away. I just don't.
I guess that would be the way, is if they think think he's a missing piece, But I think with Peters they probably stick with B-Rob and go young, but
Yeah. They have
Someone asked a question. Oh, go ahead.
Washington Commanders. Let's see, second most salary cap space in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Okay,
isn't that ironic that the Patriots at
three picks have the top. Yeah.
Yeah, that gives you something to think about. It doesn't mean you go and spend money and blow it, but at the same time, you gotta. That's one reason why Adam Peters is such a magician. Like, he knows what he's doing. He went into an amazing spot. He's got an amazing pick. At number 2 overall, he can get whatever quarterback he wants, aside from Caleb Williams, which I think is who he wants the most, or Kingsbury wants him the most. I don't know if Peters does. There's a rumor today that Peters. What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a rumor today that Peters likes Drake May a lot, but that seemed like smoke. Not that he doesn't, but I'm saying I don't know where that really. I mean, he probably was asked about all 3 quarterbacks, and then somebody just said, okay. Like, let me give you an example of what I think happened with this New England Patriot Barkley report is, let's say I go to the combine and I say, hey, Adam Peters, do you like these 3 quarterbacks? Yeah, Caleb Williams is an amazing talent. I, coached him at USC. Our OC coached him at USC. We obviously love him. Kingsbury loves him. He's a good talent, young kid, smart. Jaden Daniels, very explosive, good runner. I like him a lot. Drake May, love the kid. Nice young kid, good head on his shoulders, going to be great in the NFL. 3 things were said. But you know what will happen? A Patriot fan or a fan page or somebody's going to then take the one piece and go, he loves Drake May. He said Drake May's a good kid, love him, would love to, would definitely be, could see them drafting him. When he said he could see him drafting all 3. Like, that's why I feel like, and there's no way to sometimes dig into everything and find it in enough time. And it just so happened that I was able to piece this together real quickly. But I believe this is everything I mapped out in the beginning is why we're sitting here right now talking about something that primary meaning one of like 7 or 8 teams. And I'd even say I don't know why the Patriots are involved in that, though, other than people want them or Patriot fans are obliviously thinking that this is a solution. It's kind of like when a Niner fan comes in, no offense, Niner fans, I love you, but you'll come into the chat
Here
and
are some results.
Ziggy off. You'll come into, I don't know why he's even talking. No one even said his name. It's crazy that it's like a Niner fan will come into my chat and say something like, Barkley's going to the Niners. And like, what do you mean he's going to the Niners?
Anybody who's available.
Yeah, it's like,
who's available.
Or like somebody saying like, bring in Fields to San Francisco to back up Brock Purdy just so we have a good backup. So what are you talking about? So like I feel like New England's similar. New England's similar is like, bring in Barkley. Like, do you even know who's on your roster? Like, the average Patriot fan even know who's on their roster? Like, you have Ramondre Stevenson. He's a potential top 7 running back if you used him properly, which Bill Belichick did not. Like, what are you doing? You don't need Barkley? Like, it's crazy to me.
I know.
Perps is on the line.
Oh, nice. What's up, Perps?
What's up, Perps?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Oh, man, just, thought I'd go live. Just randomly. Of course, Eric doesn't approve, but everybody else seems pretty excited about it.
Not like it's your job or anything.
Yeah, I mean.
So.
It's not an Eric.
You mentioned a few teams for Barkley, but why wouldn't the Chargers losing Eckler, or if Jacobs leaves the Raiders, why wouldn't either one of those teams want to go after a guy like that?
Well, I mean, we talk about the Chargers all the time, and like I was saying, this reporter or this podcaster, Pat Leonard, omitted the 2 best landing spots.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, and we're not trying to rip on him or anything. I'm just saying that the origination of what we believe to be this left graphic came from something along the lines of the middle graphic, where he went on a podcast, listed off a bunch of teams, one being the Patriots, not listing the Dallas Cowboys or the Chargers, which would be 2 of the top maybe 4 landing spots. So that's what I'm saying. We can't even like There's nothing to go on with any of this. The Chargers are clearly one of the best landing spots. The Cowboys are clearly one of the best landing spots. The Ravens are clearly, did they have the Ravens on there at least? I think they did, yes. They had the Ravens on there. The Raiders are listed on here, though. Those are ones that I read off that he was saying. Raiders, Bears, Patriots, Texans, Eagles. But no Chargers, no Dallas Cowboys. So, you almost can't even look at that report, which is what originated everything else, I believe, because it was on that podcast. So it says Pat Leonard on this one, and then NYDN Sports is, I believe, his company he works for. I guess he's a podcaster on that network or whatever station or whatever that is. So it's all coming from, I believe, this guy who said there's primary landing spots and didn't list Dallas or the Chargers. Now, maybe he does. And again, I'm not trying to say anybody should rip on him. Maybe he does have words somewhere, I doubt it, that says the Dallas Cowboys will not even come close to going after Barkley. But I think that is hogwash, nor would any team that really wants somebody be telegraphing it. Everything is speculation at this point.
The one thing I'll say quick, and then I'll back off. I'll let you talk first. I don't know. Did you read his little write-up from the New York Daily News? I guess he's been a beat writer for the Giants for 8 years now. Mm-hmm. So he is plugged into a certain point. You never know how much. But
that's good. That's good. That's good.
There's something there, and like you said, he was interviewing Barry Sanders. I went through his Twitter a little bit, and you can see he has players on through
which is why
different players. So he's tapped into a point.
Yeah, which is why I said nobody rip on him, because there's no reason to. I was just merely saying that for this, just trying to show people how news evolves. It's like the telephone game,
right?
It's just by the time it gets around the whole circle, look what this report suggests. This report right here with a lot of Patriot content creators that, I respect what they do and all, but it's leaving out all these other teams. And I'm not saying it's deceptive necessarily, because the Patriots were a primary target. They're using the same language. They're not doing anything wrong here necessarily, but this is going to then feed into the next report that people report on. And then the telephone game gets all haywire by the time you get, 4 degrees of separation away. And all I'm saying is I'm hearing people, seeing people tweet, talk, chat as if the Patriots became the lead candidate. And I'm just trying to tell people why they aren't and where this derived from. Why there's a little separation in what was really said and this report right here on screen. But Perps, Chargers and Raiders and Cowboys, they're all in play. And more importantly, Perps, it's where he wants to go. If all those teams wanted him, he's going where he wants to go. He's not restricted by any means. So, where he wants to go, they may not want him. And 7 teams that want him, he may not want to go to 4 of them. So Raiders will probably be in the mix. But the only reason I'd say Raiders are probably not great candidates is because I think they didn't want to pay Jacobs. And I'm not saying Barkley's not better than Jacobs, but I think to the Raiders, he would be. Jacobs would be better than Barkley because he knows the system. They're loyal to their people. And I would also say this, though, that I wouldn't be shocked if Josh Jacobs signed a long-term deal, because Pierce is now making decisions that weren't being made before he became head coach. You know what I mean? Once you're franchise tagged and you cross that point of signing a long-term deal or being slapped with a tag, you can't negotiate the rest of the year. Like mid-season, Pierce couldn't have said, hey, remember that franchise tag? I'm going to give Jacobs a long-term deal. It's locked in. He's playing on the tender all year. He can't get out of it. They can't alter it. They can't negotiate a new one. It's a strict set of rules around the franchise tag. So everyone's going to assume that the Raiders don't want Josh Jacobs, but Pierce is now head coach. He might. And so I think that if it's me, Perps, I would say, if it's me just predicting it here, spitballing it, I would say the Raiders are far more likely to re-sign Josh Jacobs than to let him go and bring in Barkley and pay him what they would have paid Jacobs. My guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I thought the Raiders wanted to get rid of Jacobs. I thought they were over.
they did until Antonio Pierce was in play. Like they didn't want to pay him. They didn't. You know, he went out there and he ran his heart out, led the league in rushing, and the Raiders, they didn't want to give him anything. But Pierce wasn't in charge then, you know, and he loves Jacobs, I think so. And Jacobs loves him. Adams loves him. And Jacobs has made it very abundantly clear he would sign the franchise tag tender with a smile if they were going to go out and get Aaron Rodgers. When they didn't and got Jimmy G, he about vomited all over the place. Adams, truly, I'm not even exaggerating on this one. Adams literally went to social media and interviews and stuff and said, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I expected. And the team is going in a different direction than I would have taken it. And everyone's like, no, Jimmy G's fine. He likes Jimmy G. That wasn't meant for Jimmy G. Remember that? It wasn't meant for Jimmy G, that comment, Smitty.
Yeah.
No,
it believed in Jimmy G.
Like what? Like where are those people? Where are those people that rip me to shreds over and over and over, saying that I'm gonna be sorry about what I'm saying about Jimmy G? And I don't know if you guys saw Ayuk. He went live on Instagram today, and one of the followers asked a question, and one of the, I think it was Rashad White. All the ASU guys were in there, and I went to ASU twice. I'm from ASU, so I love my ASU guys. But Rashad White, Jaden Daniels, ASU guy. People don't know, LSU, but he played at ASU first, transferred. Mm-hmm. But Jaden Daniels, Rashad White, and Ayuk, all ASU peeps at one point, were all on Instagram Live. They're all chatting away. And one of the followers asked, hey, who would you rather have throwing the ball to you, Jimmy G or Trey Lance? and Rashad White read this question, and Ayuk's playing Madden while he's talking, and he goes, man, why are you going to ask me that question or something like that? And he goes, Trey Lance. It was amazing. But all these people that thought Jimmy was the answer, like, good God, man. It's unbelievable. What else you got, Perps?
Not too much. Was just calling to ask those questions. So
I got to get my water in. I got to get
the
my
other
water.
thing I'd say, though, too, is Barkley could be playing the system and just trying to get more money out of New York. Because you did say earlier that he might want to stay there.
I just waterboarded myself. Yeah. The thing
crazy.
The thing I said earlier today, I believe, and other days, obviously, was that these players sometimes they don't know right from left. They don't know what's good for them. They're too close to the situation. They don't know what good quarterbacks, what makes up a good quarterback sometimes. Not everybody. I'm not saying every player is like dumb and blind, but they really don't get sometimes what's best for their career. Good case in point, I could give you 1,000 of them, but would be when Antonio Brown was traded to the Buffalo Bills to go play with Josh Allen. And he put up such a fight that they called the trade off. He's like, I don't want to play for Buffalo. I'm not going. I'll retire. And Buffalo's like, what are we supposed to do here? Okay, rescind the trade. And they reversed the trade. I think the commissioner had to approve that. And then they trade him to the Raiders. He's like, yes. And he goes to the Raiders and burns his feet off. Weeks later, he burns his feet off. Remember that? And it's like, this guy could have went and played with Josh Allen. He just didn't see it. He did, and Allen wasn't ambiguous or obscure at that point. Allen had just broke out, but we knew what he was. He wasn't a rookie. It was crazy, man. It was insane. These players don't know. When I tore my ACL, I had rehab. I won't name the defensive back, but he's a pretty big name defensive back. And I got my surgery at a sports medicine place that they treated all the Cardinal players. They treated all the Coyote players. They treated all the Phoenix Suns players. And so I was constantly running into players, but they also treated a lot of players that lived here in Arizona for the weather and everything, and trained here, and a lot of baseball guys. And I had rehab right next to this football player, defensive back, pretty well-known guy, every day. and I go in there and we rehab and I shoot the shit with him. And one time I just asked him, like, who are the best 5 wide receivers in the league? And this is a D-back. This is a well-known D-back in the National Football League. And he gave me, I don't remember all the names, but he gave me one guy that was worthy of being in the top 5 or 6. The other 4 names were like not even close to being top 10 wide receivers in the league. It was ridiculous. He didn't, and I asked him to name the top couple running backs. You know, we're talking fantasy, and he was asking me like, who's good this year or whatever. And this is a long time ago. But his idea of the number 1, number 2, number 3 running back were just unbelievably crazy. Like, these players don't know right from left, and they're too close to the situation to even know who's really doing what around them. You know what I mean? Kind of think of it like a movie. If you're an actor in a movie, a lot of people think they see the big picture. But when you're an actor, you get a script, you'll go read scenes that are in the middle of the movie. You know, you'll go, you know, get in a fight with somebody over this, you know, scene or whatever, and then leave, go the next day, come back, you're shooting a scene in a bakery. You have no idea how it ties to the next scene. It's weird. Yeah. But a lot of times an actor will leave a movie. A lot of them never watch the movie. Yeah, an actor will leave the movie set and be like, I don't even know if this is going to be a good movie. I really don't even know what's going on. Like, I've read the whole script over, but like, I don't know what's going on here. And then they leave, and the movie's great or the movie's crap. I feel like that's a way to liken the way players view the NFL. They're so embedded in their situation, they don't freaking see like other players, their stats, their talent. No one they can't. How are they going to watch Josh Allen throw footballs on Sunday when they're playing on Sunday? See, like in a sense, you don't know. You know, you don't know who's, unless you play them, you don't know.
Position.
You know, you got a snapshot judgment if you win and if you face that team. But my point being, Perps mentioned. What did you say, Perps? That triggered me to even go on that freaking half-hour tangent.
He's trying to make the Giants pay more money.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Barkley has said, I would like to remain in New York. In a logical mind, and granted, we're looking for fantasy value too, right? So we're a little bit slanted in our motivation, but it's like a logical mind would say, why would you want to go back to a team that's continued to fail you, not wanted to pay you, paid the wrong quarterback? You have a hell of a situation looking at this Danny Dimes and one of the worst contracts in the league. They apparently want to give up on him, but I don't know that they can this year. Giving up on him is maybe next year, although wouldn't shock me if they drafted a quarterback at 6, but it also very much would not shock me if they just wait until next year to try and fix their wrongs. But why would you want to go back to a team like that? Why? They have no wide receivers. He's been facing 8-man fronts for his entire career. He's never had a good quarterback.
At his age.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you want that unless you just didn't understand and you're not good at figuring out what's best for you?
Then again, like Eckler thought, Saquon probably thinks he's got 5 or 6 years left,
Yeah,
These guys don't think.
Yeah, Eckler thinks he's got 4 or 5. I guarantee you, if I had Eckler on the show. By the way, I was going to have him on the show in the offseason, and he canceled. And then I don't know. He definitely sees some of my Instagram posts, because when you put up a story post, you see the people that see it. And I've posted a couple things. One was that guy swinging, and then he hits his sack right on that bar, and it's like, this is what Eckler did to fantasy owners. And the guy swings really hard and just rams his nads right into a bar. And he saw it. I know he saw it because it shows me he saw it. And I know Eckler will never come on the show. I can guarantee you now. He didn't block me, but I know he will not come on because he saw it. But he also, and he does handle his own social media, so I know it wasn't like a social media handler that saw it. But I guarantee you, if Eckler did come on and I asked him how long he could play elite football, he would say 3 or 4 years. He does not know. No, every running back's going to think, and I don't blame him. I probably would too. They're going to think they can do it longer.
When you're that young, obviously football is a different animal, but when you're 25, 26, 28 years old, you feel great. And if you're a peak athlete, imagine how amazing you feel,
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you got a super chat from the good Eric.
Yeah, let's do this one. I may not be here much longer, gents. So if you got another question, dial it up real quickly. Hey, Smitty. This is from Eric Ordonez, the good Eric. Hey, Smitty, commissioner question. Guy who won my $50 league started cussing out my friend, and I was calling us effing nerds and take a break. It's only been 3 weeks since Super Bowl. Should I replace him ASAP? I mean, after everything's paid out and everything's kosher, I would probably say, like, just do a little vote. If the majority of from a commissioner perspective, I'm telling you right now, I commission a couple leagues. I don't want to, but I do. They run themselves. I don't do anything. Why? Because my rules say everything, and I don't reverse anything. I don't put in players change lineups if somebody's like, hey, well, the system won't let me. Too bad. The rules say too bad. Do it the night before. Hey, can I put it? I don't care. Like, I don't have time. I literally do nothing in those leagues. I don't commission a single thing. Hey, what about the waiver order? It looks wrong. Doesn't matter. In my rules, it says whatever the system decides. Like, because it orders it for you based on record. But, like, sometimes there's some weird thing that it doesn't do. I don't care. Schedule looks... I don't care. That's how I commission. But I do have it in my rules that if there's ever something that needs my attention, I'm the best commissioner ever because I don't do a single thing. But it's all in my rules. It's all my rules, and like, you know, the Sleeper app does take care of pretty much everything. But if there's ever a situation where I do feel that we need to, you know, come to a conclusion, it requires a vote. And if you do what the majority of the people want, or even significantly more than the majority, like 10 out of 12 owners, or at least 9 out of 12 owners, you're pissing off how many people? Very few. But if you do something that pisses off half your league because they want him to stay, then you have, you know, anarchy going on. And the one thing I'll also say is that if you were to not do something, like not replace him, no one's probably leaving over that if they wanted him out. But if you replace him and people didn't want him out, like if he's got 6 hardcore friends in there, they will leave over it. So sometimes action is, you know, offensive. Non-action is not as offensive. But, I mean, I think it sounds like he's a guy that pisses off everybody. So I think it'll be a pretty easy vote.
Why is he in a dynasty league?
I don't know. Perps, why are you in this dynasty league? This is Perps you're talking about, right? Perps, you in this guy's league?
Maybe under a different name.
Perps is really mad about what you said. No, yeah, I don't think.
I'm not playing in no $50 league. Minimum 100.
Perps like
doesn't run with the peasants. Us peasants.
Perps is like, is a $50 a transaction league, or did he say $50 a league? If it's $50 per ad drop, yeah, that might be up Perps' alley. Oh. Anything else, boys? Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you.
Yeah, how's that? You still holding it down or what?
How's the what? How's the what, Perps?
The fast that you did.
Oh.
The fast that you did.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I need the honesty out of you.
Yeah. I'm still down a couple pounds, but I didn't keep the 8 down. I think I could have. Everyone said that it's water weight. I disagree. I think it definitely. I drink a lot of water, and I do believe you'll gain about two of it back at least. But what had happened was I didn't really curb any of my...
Lou Malnati's happened.
Well, that and then I started to not do my intermittent fasting for like 4 or 5 days coming off of it because I was just so hungry. That I'm down about 2 or 3 pounds total, but I'm also walking/running 10,000 to 15,000 steps a day. So I think it really, at the end of the day, was really good for me, and it got me in a lighter state to do that. And now that I'm that way, I'm like dialed into getting my steps in, and I don't waver on that. Like right now, I just reset because it was midnight. I'll have to see what I was at, but I definitely go over 10,000 a day. Like when I don't have 15, I'm mad at myself. But I'm like, when I see it 10, I'm like, today's a bad day. But 10,000 steps is a lot. I think anybody does 10,000 steps a day for like a month or two, you'll probably drop like 10 or 15 pounds no matter what. You know? So I feel
100%.
I feel like I'm going to be in a pretty good place. But yeah.
It's all mindset and it's all habit. Getting a routine, and I mean, it was just a reset for you, and if anything, it flushed the pipes, and
yeah,
you know, you're a little healthier on the inside too.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and I'm drinking water. Like, you know, this is I need to drink one of these a day. I haven't been. I've been doing like one every 3 days. I went up to Miss Smitty, who drinks water like a fish, and she got me this, and I got her one, and then she got me one back. And she said, because I said it was really cool, it's a Stanley, but it's like a massive monster. I don't know how many. What does this look like? How many ounces is this? Is this like a jug?
64.72.
Yeah, something like that. Let me see if it has. I don't know if
on the bottom, maybe.
Yeah, let's see.
60, 32 or 64.
64. Perps knows his water, man.
Yeah.
Perps knows his water. So
Nice.
64.
He's got it down.
And I went to Miss Smitty, and I was like, okay, so I'm new to this water game. I know that I can drink 64 ounces of Coke in a few hours, but I'm new to the water game. I was like, so do I drink like one of these every like day or two? And she's like, no, I drink like 3 of these a day. You know, you got, and I'm like, come on, like 3 of these of water. I'm still sipping on. This is like 2.5 days that I haven't gotten through this one.
Yeah, her bladder must be in overdrive.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't, you know.
That's a lot of water.
I feel like I'm waterboarding myself just getting down this whole thing in the 2.5 days. But, you know.
Well, you're a big Prime guy. Did you ever check out those Prime mix-in sticks that you can put in with water? Cheaper than buying Prime.
Yeah, is it cheaper though?
It is, yeah.
Because I mean,
I'd have to think, but I think it's like 20. It's like 20 or 25 sticks you get, and it's like $9 for the bag.
Yeah, I'll look into that. 20. Okay, yeah, because the primes are like $2-something a piece, probably, right?
Just under $3 a piece, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I'll try that. In fact, Miss Smitty bought me a thing of those sticks. I should try it. I wonder. Yeah, it'll probably tell you. I could see how much it would be to load this sucker up. But I mean, yeah, if this thing was full of water, like people will say, hey, you know, drinking a Prime isn't like drinking water, you know. But if I fill this whole thing up and make it Prime, I'm drinking water. You know, I think I disagree with the old you got to drink water, bro. Like if this thing's full of water and I put 5 Prime sticks in it, then I'm drinking water. It's in here. It doesn't disintegrate, right?
Yeah, everything in moderation. I mean, if you're drinking a dozen Cokes a day and you drop it down to 6 and add in some water, you're going to be healthier.
Yeah, it makes sense. Hey, it's logical.
Mexican Cokes, they hit different.
Yeah, well, I think they're probably better for you though, because it's not artificial and.
Yeah, that's why I say they hit different.
Oh yeah. I've noticed they tasted they changed the formula of the regular Cokes. Nobody else knows. I'm such a Coca-Cola connoisseur that like I can taste the difference of, you know, I can tell when the batch is bad. Like if somebody left the one of the levers on too long and it's mixing the formula.
I'm like that.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on here? You know, and other people are just drinking it like it's nothing. I'm like, do you not taste what I'm tasting? Tastes like you know, like medicine or some kind of cleaner.
Coca-Cola is my weakness.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta.
Well, just like everyone says, McDonald's Coke hits different than anything, but it's because of how they deliver it to the stores.
Yeah, you know what's weird is I'm not a big McDonald's Coca-Cola drinker. It used to be good to me, but what's weird is McDonald's Coke and Chick-fil-A Coke give me heartburn to the point where I literally cannot sleep. But if I drink a different soda fountain, or like the glass bottle Mexican Cokes, I don't have as much heartburn, if any. But if I drink one Chick-fil-A fountain drink, I'm literally whimpering in my sleep, burning a hole through my throat. It's weird.
Carbonation?
I don't know. I mean,
like the extra carbonation?
Maybe.
Yeah, you might want to file a lawsuit with some money.
One Coca-Cola a day, I'm down to, so I'm happy.
That's good. I find it funny when people are like, you drink 2, like that's your second one. You drink 2 of those a day? And I'm like, no. The answer is no. I don't drink 2 a day.
Mountain Dew used to be my vice.
I warm up.
At least 6, 7 a day.
I warm up with 2 a day. My doctor said when I went in, he's like, you should be 350 pounds. He's like, I don't understand this. He literally like hung up, or I'm sorry, left and then called me back. He's like, marveled by it, like almost wanting to study it. Like, how are you able to drink 100+ ounces of Coke a day and not weigh 350 pounds? He's like just shocked.
Diabetes here.
Yeah, and I don't have anything wrong with my blood sugar or anything. Maybe that'll change over time, but. All right, well, boys, I'll see you later.
Yep. Sounds good. Talk to you later, Smitty.
All right, Perps, appreciate the supers today and all that. You're the man.
See you, Travis. Yep, thanks, guys. See ya.
Perps to the moon. Later. That's all she wrote. Appreciate you all. I've been getting heartburn just talking about McDonald's Coke. It's all a mind game. All a mind game. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you being here. Live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'll see you all tomorrow live at 8 p.m. But I'm also live when news breaks like this show right here. And that means tomorrow you might see me periodically throughout the day, if not just on some sort of premiere on maybe tomorrow. Actually, I won't give it away. Tomorrow I have maybe a couple pieces of content if I get to it. And we don't have a live stream that steps on that. DeWolf, appreciate you. Lights Out, appreciate you. Lee, Young, Thomas, Birds, Tex, Mighty, Travis Rowe, Bill the Tickler, Klondike, DeBalt, Ada, Admiral. Appreciate all of you guys in here. Perps to the moon. Sick Nasty, thanks for moderating with Travis. Hoosiers, appreciate you. Birdman, thank you. Hazelnut, Hoosiers, appreciate you. Sick Nasty, Young, Robert Hunt. Who else? Eric, thanks for the super chat. And we're out. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara. Smitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?
Got him.